Greetings, everyone. It is Meredith Leon McCormick for World Bride Magazine. And again, we continue with our WBM Summer Series. We want to thank you all for following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and YouTube. Guys, thank you for your support. And as we promised you, we will continue to bring you the legends of the bridal industry, the icons, the people that have shaped what the industry has become and will become even better. So today I am bringing someone that is absolutely iconic in the bridal industry. She, for me, single-handedly presented Black women in high fashion in mainstream magazines. Manale. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Meredith. It's so wonderful to talk to you. By the way, you look absolutely beautiful.
And so do you. I'm so honored to be in your presence again. I met you some years ago, and you, like I said in my intro, you literally inspired me to come into the bridal industry. And you did that with your pictures, your advertisement that showed beautiful Black women. You showed beautiful mixed women. You showed beautiful white women, and it was okay. And then when I found out you were a Black designer and you were putting it in Martha Stewart and in other high-end magazines that was not, being shown there, women of color were not even being shown. So thank you for being so bold to take a fashion forward step like that. What inspired you to come into the bridal industry?
Actually, I studied when I came from Ethiopia. I went to the university and I loved films. So I thought, okay, I love films. There's nothing that really interested me. I've always been someone who wants to share. I was born a philanthropist, so there is something inside me that always kind of like romantic, beautiful things. So I decided to study theater. While I'm in university, I thought I should have a good time. So in university, upstate New York, I studied theater and costume design. And so that gave me 4 happy years because I wasn't quite really sure what I wanted to do, but I definitely knew that the moment of 4 years of university should be joyful. So that's what I did. And right after university, I graduated from upstate New York and I moved to Italy because I've always thought I would like to be close to Ethiopia, somehow to do something without really not knowing clearly what it is. I felt like being in Europe will give me the chance to be closer to Ethiopia. So I went to Italy and I started working as an assistant to the costume designer. And that's when I realized, costume is not my way. Acting is not something that I loved to do, but not what I want to pursue. It requires exterior being. You have to use your mind and exterior to be in front of all. But I loved working with textile and I love working with costumes. So after a year, it was clear to me that I have to be closer to, costume, which happens to be fashion. So I came back to New York and I got accepted at the FIT and graduated at FIT and became a fashion designer. Now, the 4 years I was a fashion designer for different design house, but bridal was kind of, it was a calling. I was always very natural and true around bridal, around the people who got married in my family. I'm always like pulled in to be around the bride, to put together her headpiece or something about bridal because it was about joy. I mean, right. It is really a joyous time in Ethiopia. So I've always felt natural and comfortable. So when I decided to go into my own brand, I knew if I do evening wear, I am from Ethiopia, Ethiopia. I didn't have a great name, and I've always loved something beautiful. So it's going to end up being luxury. So I knew that was not the path, but I was 14 times a bridesmaid. Done, I've done wedding right and left. So I knew it was a natural calling. So I went into the natural calling and became a bridal designer.
But it sounds like, what year? 1995?
1995, I created the brand, yes. And 96 went into business.
But it's so interesting that you're saying that, costume designing wasn't your thing, but I look at bridal as the epitome of costume designing, because that's the only time a woman will lavishly dress up, wear a ball gown continuously, and become a queen, a princess for the day. So I felt, hearing your story and your humble beginnings, that it was calling you all along, and every step you seem to have taken was leading you to bridal.
Yes, and let me say that when I say costume designing was not something that I want to pursue, I'm talking about the business rather than not the actual. Of course, the wedding is costume; it's evening. That's why as a bridal designer, I also branched into evening. But the business of it, there is the artistic aspect and there is the business aspect.
Right.
The same thing with the acting. The artistic part of acting for 4 years, I've done acting. It was beautiful in the university, but the business of it was not something that I want to pursue, because it was not, it wasn't natural for me to be that. So
that's
again,
amazing.
We use an excuse to go into our natural calling, or I personally go with the pool that is more natural. I don't analyze and put A plus A or 1 plus 1. It should be this way. I do what really moves me. So that's how I arrived in the bridal industry.
And Paulette told me that literally you, because of your relationship with her, is what brought her into the bridal industry, working with your brand and building you up and everything else, and the synergy. Like she says, she literally looks at you as a mother. Like you influenced her greatly to get into the bridal industry, and her success continued from there. So you became the stepping stone for her Liz Selassie Designer Loft, and you being inspirational to one person. Now look where she's at. That says a lot about you as an artist, as a businesswoman, and a woman. I hear your story, and you are from Ethiopia. How much of your designs were inspired by your culture?
The bridal, absolutely zero. But the collection that we are now doing, the Manale brand, that you will see at the Manale International, almost every inspiration in the textile comes from Ethiopia, because the concept of this new fashion for philanthropy is inspired by Ethiopian heritage, with beautifully made European and Asian product. Means the clothes, the ready-to-wear, the scarves, all luxury.
Wow.
Everything you do, and then roll it and take the percentage of it to children's education in Ethiopia. That's the concept.
Wow, that's amazing. And so when did you realize that your position in fashion had to incorporate philanthropy? When did you know you had to marry the both?
From the day I remember myself.
Woo! So now that you're doing this philanthropic work, you're incorporating your culture, Ethiopia, in it. how can brides be a part of it? Is there a component in it for brides or anybody getting married or doing any kind of festivities? Connect the dots for us.
How you connect the dots actually is, philanthropy. If you take away this fancy words, it's about really sharing what is in your heart. Because we have so much, infinitely. We have we're infinite. So as we are infinite, if we are not, if we don't cut ourselves in the four corner of only thinking, I have only this much and I have only this much, every human being can participate on that. So, even when I was a bridal designer, I was sharing my passion. It was never like, let's make money. Never like that for me. I lose myself, because in the moment in your life, when you can reach your inner beauty, your inner energy, that is infinitely beautiful and infinitely, and it's an infinite. No one could tell you you're this or you're that, because that is the truth. The truth is the only thing that's infinitely beautiful. So as a bride, that is the day where you can actually, you're the only person who can be a channel for that. You are the only person who can tap into that. So it was like the bridal was home for me, actually. I practiced what I am doing now when I was there, because I was telling you personally, you are an infinite, beautiful being. That day is the only day you need to honor that.
Wow.
If you honor that, then everything you do around it will follow. What you want to wear has to be honored by your infinite beauty.
And it comes internal.
It comes internal. So then, after you experience that beauty and simplicity and inner joy, that happy experience will allow you to share your happy experience with someone else. So you'll always be that. It brings a happy memory to you if you honor your inner joy rather than your exterior joy by choosing your gown or doing your wedding or whatever you need to do. So as a bride is just another beautiful human being. So we can all, we have so much, we can all share what we have.
Right. I agree with you 100%. Now the world is shifting and we're going through another stage. We're dealing with the pandemic of COVID-19. We're dealing with the issue of race and race relations in America and the rest of the world. And it's all being televised. The whole thing, the revolution is being televised. Now I'm hearing and I'm speaking to you. I feel like this can become a rebirth for us as humanity to look internally. What is Manale International, and how do you see that in this new stage of our life moving forward?
More or less, my passion and mission has always been the same. Yesterday and today. The only difference today is obviously we are not in control. So it makes it even sweeter.
True.
It's sweeter. So for me, I prioritize and I say, what is it that is I have not done that I wish to do, that if that moment of anything happens, that I would love to do the journey with a smile on my face. And that is the sharing.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. So despite all the challenges you face in the industry and building and presenting, you're not giving up. You just found another way of projecting the joy that you have internally.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, I'm speechless. I don't know what else to say. Is there any message that you want to give to our brides and people that are looking to come into the industry?
You mean to the bridal industry?
Yeah. What message do you want to give to anybody that's...
No, it's very simple. I mean, you know, you wake up in the morning, the sun shines, and if you wake up and the sun shines, just be true to yourself and do what it is that, because we are here to experience life. We come, we experience life, and we go.
Right.
So why do you have
Wow.
to hold on to anything because of what? So yes, you know, be the tunnel and the channel that you are for your own true self, which is your, you know, your spirit.
Wow. Thank you so much. Can you please just show us your beautiful earrings? I'm looking at them. Dang. Oh my God, they're gorgeous. So these are some of the pieces.
Yeah, this is Ethiopian stone called chrysopolis, but we don't do jewelry. But there, Ethiopia has beautiful stones. So I try to work with the artisanal to create jobs for actually women artisanal in Ethiopia. So we do limited edition for limited situation, but we are focusing on textile because this time in life we have so much. We have to say, what is a woman? What can I bring to a woman today that can give her, can go beyond, because we are Fashion for Philanthropy, so everything we do will support our mission. So in that case, I in this past 3 months, I thought of what is it that I wanted. If the world is like this, what makes me happy in the fashion? So I said, keep it simple. So we try to do simple things, scarves. It's always wonderful. We're going to create things that can be usable, that has a story, that has a past, that is natural. Keep the collection to the minimum, and just I think keeping it simple will allow us to enjoy our life here and now.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Very,
thank you. Can you give us your website so that our followers can follow you now?
It's manaleinternational.com.
Okay. Perfect. I will make sure that we have all of that. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, no, this is an honor.
You look beautiful. And, together we can be many stars.
We sure can. I really appreciate this. Guys, that was the queen, Manale, the woman that opened doors for so many ethnic designers to come into high fashion. She took the leap of faith and she jumped in and showed diversity. Diversity may be a trend now, but for her, it was a way of life. And I encourage you to continue to support Manale, her brand, and Manale International. We will make sure that we keep up with it. So until the next time, ciao Bella. Bye, everyone.